Right, everyone, a tumultuous couple of days in football is over. The Super League is over. It actually lasted 19 hours less than Celtic's longest social media blackout this season after the 2-2 draw at Livingston in January. That's a true story. It's over. The owners of these 6 English clubs who withdrew on a frantic Tuesday evening must be waking up with the worst fear ever. They signed up to this league on Sunday and barely 72 hours later, they're all out. It's a pretty dark day for fans of all those clubs, although I suppose the fans have little to do with it and they have got what they wanted in the end. The entire football community has got what it wanted in the end. But things move on, so I think it's important on the channel that we also move on and look at what could happen now in terms of UEFA and in terms of the Champions League and the Europa League, and we'll link it into Celtic, of course. Lots of people I follow on Twitter have been really hoping that this could signal a new dawn for UEFA competitions and Celtic in UEFA competitions. Perhaps now, after the toothless displays from some of the biggest clubs in Europe, UEFA will pay more attention to clubs like Celtic and so-called smaller nations. Not quite as hopeful as some people are on Twitter, but for today's video, we are going to investigate this topic. We're going to take a look at what the new Champions League proposals actually are from 2024, because that has bypassed people a little bit, and ponder what they mean for Celtic. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you've not done it yet. I've not really been doing the subscriber shout outs on the video as much lately because there's been so much going on, but if you're watching this video and you've not yet clicked that button, we really would appreciate you taking just a few seconds out of your day to do it. It really helps boost the numbers, it helps me make my targets, and yeah, it'd be massively appreciated. I had to laugh at some of the comments made by certain members of the English media and also English football fans in general, talking about the fact this Super League has been disbanded as a huge victory for football fans and the integrity of football being kept intact. From a Celtic fan's point of view, we've had to deal with a bit of unfairness in UEFA competition for a number of years. The Champions League next season will have the 4th best teams from England, from Italy, from Germany, from Spain, while the champions of countries like Austria, Czech Republic, Scotland, Denmark will all have to qualify for the group stage. The champions of Greece, Olympiacos, will have to win 4 successive qualifying ties to make it to the 32-team group stage. That's something that Celtic know well from previous seasons. In total, only 14 of the 32 teams in next season's Champions League group stage will actually be champions of their country. I know this is a thing that's been spoken about for years. Why is it called the Champions League if the champions of countries aren't really getting automatically involved in it? I'm not one of these people who thinks it should be like the European Cup days when you solely had all the champions of the top countries in this tournament. I don't think the tournament would be nearly as good if you didn't have the runners-up from England, Spain and Germany involved. But 4th place in these countries, that's taking the piss a little bit. The fear now is that UEFA will look to appease these breakaway clubs and they will reformat their plans for the Champions League's next cycle from 2024 to give these big clubs more security and more opportunities. That can't be allowed to happen. That should face the same amount of stiff competition and criticism from people in smaller countries as the likes of fans in England have done with the Super League plans in recent days. You won't hear the same noise from the English media at all if more opportunities are given to English teams in Europe, because it doesn't really suit them to argue against that. But I do think it is important that smaller countries like Scotland, like Austria, like Czech Republic mobilise if that does become the case. I'm going to go in depth now on what UEFA have actually proposed for the new Champions League format from 2024. There's going to be one large league of 36 teams, so the group stage currently of 32 teams will have 4 added to it. They'll all be in one league, and each team will play a selection of matches against 10 different opponents, 5 at home and 5 away. All these results will be fired into one big league table. You know most of this stuff. The interesting part is UEFA confirming what they're going to do with the extra 4 places. The first of the 4 spots will be given to the 5th ranked nation in the European coefficient table. That's currently France. Now, France at the moment gets 2 automatic berths in the group stage and a further one in the non-champions route of qualifying. They will now get 3 places straight into the group stage with 1 more in qualifying. The second of the 4 spots will be awarded to the domestic league champion with the highest club coefficient among all other domestic champions that have not automatically qualified for the Champions League's league stage. Now that may seem like a right mouthful, and it's typically UEFA of them to complicate things and say what they could say in 10 words in 100 words. The interesting part about this is that it's the club coefficient they're paying attention to. So while UEFA use the national coefficient for virtually everything other than actual seeding once you get into group stage draws, last 16 draws, the interesting thing here is that it's the club coefficient. So effectively, this will only concern Celtic once Scotland drop out of getting an automatic place in the group stage. The season after next, the winner of the Scottish Premiership will almost certainly qualify for the Champions League group stage. Now, whether Scotland stays in that great place, time will tell. But if they were to drop out and Celtic were to be the champions of Scotland again, there could well be an opportunity for Celtic to get an automatic place, courtesy of this new thing UEFA have added. So it's good news for Celtic, but it's only good news for the champions of our country, and it's only good news if Celtic can really boost their club coefficient. The last 2 places are by far the most controversial. They have now been confirmed by UEFA. Reading from UEFA's website, they say that slots 3 and 4 will be awarded to the clubs with the highest club coefficients that have not qualified automatically for the Champions League's league stage, but have qualified either for the Champions League qualification phase or the Europa League or the Europa Conference League. In theory, there's nothing to stop this concerning Celtic, but the extreme likelihood is that this will offer as a safeguard for a top 20 European team who have had a shocker of a domestic season. So think of Liverpool this season, think of Chelsea, think of Arsenal, think of Spurs, think of Borussia Dortmund. There's other teams in Europe, Roma, teams like that have had historically good records in Europe, but have had a bad season. Now, the Europa League and the new Conference League will follow similar systems, it's been confirmed. Their number of teams have yet to be confirmed, but they will also follow this Swiss system of one league where you play a selection of matches. There's been rumours that rather than playing 10 matches like you do in the Champions League, you'd maybe play 8 or even 6. Not quite sure why they would do it differently to the Champions League, but hey-ho, that's what UEFA are like. The thing that I love to reiterate on the channel is that as much as a lot of people are painting this out to be a bad thing, the new Champions League format, I'm not necessarily quite on board with that. Celtic's chances will actually increase a little bit as to where they are currently. And if Scotland can keep up their good performances in recent years, there's no reason why the champion of the Premiership can't get an automatic place in this new Champions League league stage with 4 more games and enhanced, increased TV money. It's good news. So that's where we stand currently. It would be great if UEFA were to stand up to these big clubs who have embarrassed themselves over the last 72 hours. These toothless major clubs who have proven that they're not really capable of organising anything. It would be great if UEFA were to say to them, well, actually, we're going to push through a little bit of reform to help the smaller countries because you've embarrassed yourself. This isn't going to happen because it's not in UEFA's interests to get rid of a Sevilla or a Wolfsburg from the Champions League and add in a Slavia Prague or an Olympiacos. That's just not in their interest because the major leagues are where the major players and the major money is. For the record, I think the Champions League would be a far stronger competition if you had the champions of Czech Republic and Scotland and Greece involved rather than the 4th place teams from England and Italy. but I doubt they'll see it like that. The fear would be that they would actually try to appease the major clubs by helping them more. That can't be allowed to happen at all. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed this video. We've got a 2-video Wednesday for you because we're back tonight with the post-match live reaction to Celtic versus Aberdeen. Yes, Celtic are actually playing a football match tonight. I believe David's going to join me. We'll see you later.